This is an extract from our AHK Hero Club. We have calls 3 times a week. Please like the video if you learned something. All right, now let's, so Connie, we were working on your tool for transcribing and doing stuff, and Assembly AI has a way, they had 4 or 5 different methods for giving it words that you're like, oh, I want to make sure this word is captured properly. And there were these different approaches. So I asked AI again, which one should we use? And I think actually, correct me if I'm wrong, Irfan, even the one that told me it still didn't work, but we found, what was the one? Key terms? Is that
Key
what?
term prompts.
Okay.
Key term prompts.
So go ahead and show, like if you want, show in either transcriber or segment or wherever we're doing it, where we have
Okay,
like our names in the JSON.
yeah. So in the main, I think we put it in here. Where? Yeah, there. So there is a parameter called key term prompt, and we have to spell it just like this, and we have to mention the correct name in there.
Wait,
And
are you
then
sure that's the one we went with? I thought, isn't it, it's not the
the spell, if you're talking about the custom spell, that was different, but
yeah.
this is the key term prompts.
Well, the one that only takes one word, which is why I'm saying Joe Glines isn't right, because
Yeah, so this is the custom spelling. So this were we were using this previously.
well,
So it can only take one word, because sometimes AI transcribe and like split those words, like auto, hot, and key 3 words. But now it will always, when it find it, it will join them together, I think. So that's how it works.
so
Here I cannot tell it to use 2 words. So
right.
it's a custom spelling.
So this, Connie, we were like, okay, how do we make this easy for someone that's not a programmer to add the different versions to say, let's go ahead and let's plan ahead and clean up the names, right?
Okay, right.
So Irfan, show the that word sub editor.
Okay. So this is a word sub editor, and I have to add, for example, my name, Irfan, and then all the variant one. So I can hit enter, and then I can hit enter. So these are all 3 variants, and I can hit update, and then I have to hit the hotkey to get the JSON file, I think.
Control T is the hotkey.
Okay, so
I just
Control
hard coded it just to
and then I can have it here. So you can see it created this JSON file, the same JSON file.
the structure. Yeah.
Yeah, same structure that we are using in here.
So what I did, I found our file here, which had the 3 examples of Irfan and Glines and I think Isaias. Yeah. And I gave that to AI and I explained my goals, but and it started off okay, and then I just kept adding to it, and it built this great tool. Now it also had an import and export JSON because it didn't understand that like this is actually going to be embedded in our tools, right? So because we're not saying go create a file and then we go give it the file. No, this will be in our tool. But it was because it was kind of a conundrum of like, how do we build a GUI to allow for multiple values to be input and only one value be output? And at the same time, can you pull back up the GUI? So see, there's the Glines and there's Irfan on the left, but we can't have the same, like if he has the word test in one, we can't have the word test in another because there can only be one mapping of the word test. So this tool will actually alert you to say, hey, that's already been assigned. Did you hit update on the first one?
Yeah, let me remove it, update, and then try to add. Oh, it removed it from here. So let me update and put test here. It removed from here. That is something. So now it is removing.
Hmm.
Oh.
But we did it earlier where when you typed it, it said it's already listed in the other one.
Let me try to add
Add a whole new word, correct word. Add the word Connie and put test in it.
So now this notification is telling me that I cannot add this thing. So this is already tied to Irfan. So this notification here. Oh,
You can do an OCR on it.
yeah, it is OCR doing it. So let me close OCR tool. Snipping tool is not working. So snipping tool is not working. Reload. So it works.
And you might close the blur as well at some point.
Yeah, it is doing something weird, not letting me capture.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Okay. So whenever I add duplicates, it will not let me add.
It also controls for case, even though it's keeping track of the words with the case you give them, it won't let you enter the same word twice, regardless of what case it is. So it handled all that for me. Again, this is where we're saying, man, I don't know how much we need to learn to code anymore. We need to learn what you want to have done, like how it's going to work, right? And then maybe another year, you don't need to learn that. Like it's going to be realizing a lot of these things for you.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I wrote yesterday, I developed a program that would extract the music out of a video that had both music and spoken sections in it. It was a church service, and I only wanted only the music part of it. Well, so I started off really simple, and that's exactly what I told Claude is extract that out. And he tried to use FFmpeg, and I did not get good results. And I said, "How about a DLL call?" And I have a key here for OpenAI. And he said, "Oh, that's really a good idea. Why didn't I think of that to start with?" And it works pretty well. Actually, what it tries to do is it looks for sections that where there are words, and then says, "Okay, if it's not words, then it must be music." Well, it turns out it also thinks there's sometimes there's silence also, which is not it's music to some people.
Yeah.
So I just went back in and said, if it's less than 30 seconds, don't tell me about it. Or 60 seconds.
Well, you could also add in there FFmpeg would detect the silence. I think you could use it to also trim out.
If it is a music, how can FFmpeg detect the silence?
Hold on, Irfan, because Connie, correct me if I'm wrong in this. When you first said it, I was thinking one thing, which is really cool. What you're describing to me is still cool, but if the people are singing while there's music playing, it counts that as singing, right? You're not.
Yes.
Yeah, you're not removing the actual audio of the people talking and keeping the music behind it at the same time.
No.
Right? They're mutually exclusive timestamps. Yeah, which again, still very cool. But nowadays with AI, you can do what I just described. It can literally remove, or you can isolate the voice, or you can isolate the music or an instrument. It's wild. Like, I don't know if you've seen videos on it. It's wild how good it is. Just telling it, hey, I want this to be a karaoke song. Remove the person singing, and it does it. And it sounds, it's amazing.
That is amazing.
But that's cool.
And it made it in the first pass.
But were you still using FFmpeg to do the actual cutting of the video, the source?
I think so. I didn't look at the code.
Yeah. High five, Connie. Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. I haven't looked at any of the code, any of the Actually, so well, even then, I didn't let it go. Earlier, when I told you I was doing the embeddings, and I told it I want to be able to store this stuff in the SQLite database and do the thing. And I said, okay. And that was, I don't know if you guys saw, I had two folders under that, the AHK help file, because even though I told it that and it's all working, I'm like, and I said, so this is using that XVSS SQL blah blah blah. It's like, oh no, this is just storing the numbers in the database. I pull them out and then I crunch the numbers on AutoHotkey. I'm like, no, I wanted to use the SQL query. Oh, you did say that. And then it went, and it went and did it. I'm like, yeah, all right. But I never looked at, I did have to download a new, I forget it was a DLL or extension or something for the SQLite database. But since it's only for me anyway, I don't care about that.
But you did that all in one conversation?
Yeah, without timing out. Like I said, though, I was using Sonnet, not Opus. So I'm definitely getting more life out of I get more interactions when I'm using the lower model, definitely. Having said that, I'm still, even though I just before this call, I saw an email from Anthropic. It scared me because it's like, oh, here's your $209, $16 invoice. And I'm like, what? Well, it's because I pay annually for the $20 a month thing, whatever it is, because it knocks it down to, I think, 16 or something.
$17 or something.
Okay, yeah. But it just happened to hit because yesterday it switched to doing the extended time, which usually I will say yes because I'm close to finishing on something. I was working on some other project yesterday. I forget what it was. I think it was the window snipping tool. No, it was something anyway, whatever. And I was doing something, and I saw it was suddenly using. I was out of time, but it was using, even though I didn't okay it. That, oh, you know what? Maybe I had left the session open from before. I don't remember, but yeah. Anyway, it's been doing amazing with using Sonnet. Explore our huge library of 466 plus hours of recorded AHK tutorials. Watch, rewind, and master tricks at your own pace. Grab 25% off all our AHK goodies, courses, scripts, and custom work so you save cash while building your toolkit like a boss.